Umibozu. Umibozu are black, inky, aquatic monsters that appear in Jealousy's book, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. These creatures are massive in size, with lanky limbs and a featureless face except for two large glowing eyes. In Chapter 1, their eyes are bright white, while in Chapter 2 they appear as a light blue glow that pierces through the darkness of the water. According to Japanese mythology, Umibozus are spirits of drowned priests who were cast into the sea by angry villagers and transformed into these terrifying beings. Due to the nature of their deaths, their true origins remain shrouded in mystery. In Chapter 1, Umibozu attacks Isamu's boat, allowing the worshipper to drag him to the sisters Minka. They also emerge from the water to jump scare the player before the broken ship and stare at Isamu from the cave entrance. In Chapter 2, they watch Isamu during the kitchen chase sequence. Their death glare ability is lethal. If you remain in their line of sight, your health rapidly decreases until death. Hiding behind large objects like boulders can prevent this. The ability's range is extremely wide, making them a constant threat. Senzai Uchiumi, better known as the Worshipper, is a significant figure in Jealousy's book, serving as the secondary antagonist and the deceased older brother of protagonist Isamu Uchiumi. Born to Akihito and Tamai Uchiumi, Senzai was initially the favored child due to his academic prowess, but his desire to pursue art over law led to his father's disapproval and eventual abuse. This strained relationship, combined with betrayal from Isamu, fostered deep resentment in Senzai, ultimately transforming him into the Worshipper. Senzai's appearance varies throughout the chapters. Alive, he is depicted as a slim, pale man with tired eyes and black hair, dressed in a tight black shirt. As a corpse, he appears even thinner, with hollow eye sockets and less hair. In Chapter 1's advertisement, he dons a sleeveless kimono, black pants, and black nail polish, with long black strips of cloth on his arms. He grins unnaturally with black scars on his head and large hollow eye sockets with yellow pupils. In Chapter 2, he wears a large black blindfold and his teeth are yellow. Chapter 3 shows him with his hair tied back, while Chapter 4 sees him return to his earlier appearance, now blindfold-free. In life, Senzai initially sought to please his father, but resentment built as Akihito favored Isamu and abused Senzai for his interests in art. Eventually, Senzai aligned with Enzukai, the beast of jealousy, serving him as a worshipper and sacrificing Isamu in Chapter 2. His abilities and appearances emphasize his transformation from victim to antagonist, making him a complex and tragic character in the Mimic's universe. Dodomeki, also known as Tomiko, the Greedful Angel, or Greed, is a minor character in Jealousy's book, Chapter 3. She is an entity that guards the exit of the Cavern of Wealth. Dodomeki is a large, black entity with multiple lanky arms extending from her torso, each adorned with numerous eyes. She wears an olive green haori with a bright yellow flower pattern on the sleeves, where two yellow snakes emerge, and underneath she has a bright yellow kimono with an eye design on the belt. Her forehead bears the Japanese word for greed, and she lacks eyes on her face. Two tattered feathery beige wings sprout from either side of her head. Her alternate form, the Greedful Angel Lantern, is a glowing yellow eye surrounded by 3 dark rings covered in eyes, with 6 beige wings on the sides. She was once part of the Kiroiber cult, and is depicted in one of Senzai's paintings at the Uchiumi residence. Dodomeki is aggressive, chasing players who make mistakes during skill checks or move during her yield attack. Her abilities include proximity curse, navigation, wall crawling, enhanced strength, enhanced speed, and possibly teleportation and conjuration. She is the fastest monster in the Mimic, with a speed of 120 studs per second. Dodomeki's design is inspired by the yokai of the same name and embodies the sin of greed, reflected in her many eyes. She was a greedy woman in her past life and was transformed into a demon in Jigoku after death. Yurei is an antagonist and boss character in Jealousy's book, Chapter 3, recognized by her real name, Kiku. She serves as the second boss character in the chapter and is encountered after the player completes her puzzle by locating 5 items in small wooden houses. Emerging from behind a tree, Yurei expresses her disdain for humans, referring to them as parasites, and vows to eradicate Isamu's soul for a better purpose in nature. This initiates a fierce battle with the intent to kill him. Her physical appearance is that of a lanky woman with disheveled dark hair and a porcelain pale face. She has an abnormal grin, white sclera with black pupils, and a mole under her right eye. Her dress is stained and split split, revealing lower limbs decorated with flowers and soulless faces, along with 4 small white arms entangled in dark branches. She wears a brownish-green rope belt. In her boss fight form, her eyes become completely white, and her limbs and torso transform into ebony wood-like material, while her grin remains unsettling. In nightmare mode, she wears a shorter, dusty beige kimono and has black eyes. Yurei's abilities include teleportation, intangibility, transformation, healing tree regeneration, dendrokinesis, and various combat skills like slashing, stomping, corkscrew jumps, lunges, and jump slams. Her attacks are fast, with short rest periods between moves. Players must team up to survive her onslaught. Yurei is based on the yokai of the same name and embodies the soul of a woman who died violently or with strong emotions, turning into a vengeful spirit. Her name, Kiku, means chrysanthemum, linking her to nature's wrath. Shihyōsha, also known as Shinigami, is a prominent deity in the Mimic and the sole monster in the 2021 Halloween event, Death's Challenge. He is also the final antagonist of Jealousy's book, Chapter 3. Once the ruler of Jigoku before being dethroned by Hakaisha, he now oversees the death trials. In Jealousy's book, Chapter 3, Shihyōsha challenges Isamu Uchiumi after Isamu kills the spirit of the forest. Isamu enters the death god's lair, where Shihyōsha offers him a halved wish to return to Earth, but only if he can survive the Death God's trial. Assisted by the Hakamori, Isamu manages to escape by reaching the glowing portal. In the post-credit scene of the bad ending, Shihyōsha escorts Isamu back to Jigoku. Shihyōsha's appearance is striking. A human face with pronounced facial bones, stringy white hair, pale skin, haunting red eyes, a toothy smile, and black horns. He wears a long black robe and a scarlet beaded Akuma necklace. In Jealousy's book, Chapter 3, his hair is longer, and his necklace is now black. He wields a scythe-like weapon with a sharp black end. His powers include telekinesis, enhanced speed, temporary resurrection, combat proficiency, immortality, soul control, teleportation, and possession. As the Grim Reaper figure, Shihyōsha embodies the mark of death. Though dethroned, he remains a powerful and haunting presence in the Mimic's universe. Netamo no Hakai, often referred to simply as Netamo, is set to be the main antagonist in the upcoming Rage's book. Known as the Beast of Rage, he is one of the 4 beasts that rampaged across Japan, spreading chaos alongside Kintōru, Enzukai, and Yuma. Created in 979 BC by Hakaisha, Netamo joined his siblings in their destructive path. They raged against their gilded cage for 10 days before being sealed by the samurai Kusunoki Masashige. Netamo was trapped in Kusunoki's strongest cage, his wrath contained, at least for a time. Netamo's appearance has evolved over the ages. His current design depicts a humanoid male standing tall with no eyes, long black hair, and ram horns protruding from his head. He wears a detailed skirt, green rings on his ankles and wrists, and 2 horseshoes hanging from his neck. In previous designs, he appeared as a hulking humanoid with a monstrous mouth that split his skin open, his forehead marked with grooves indicating his eyeless state. His skin shifted from dull, grayish green to a more human-like creamy brown tone, and his dreads grew more detailed over time. In his oldest design, Netamo was a scrawny, mint green creature crawling on all 4s, sporting a shark-like mouth and no eyes at all. In the Witch Trials, Netamo appears in a brief cutscene, trapped in an enormous iron cage with thick bars. He is also seen in the bad ending of Jealousy's book, and is confirmed to return as the main antagonist in Rage's book. His abilities include wall crawling, transformation into different forms, mimicry, and immortality. With no eyes to guide him, Netamo's rage remains unyielding, a fury that cannot be tamed. Kintōru no Hakai, often called Kintōru or Sama, is the main antagonist of Control's book, and one of the 4 main antagonists of the Mimic, representing the Beast of Control. She was created in early Japan by the ruler of Jigoku, Hakaisha, from the separation of his hand, along with her siblings Enzukai, Netamo, and Yuma. During the Calamity event in 1621, Kintōru and her siblings rampaged across Earth until they were sealed away by the samurai Kusunoki Masashige. Kintōru's powers were locked to a sakura tree in the east, but not before she cursed Kusunoki's bloodline. Kintōru is known for her shape-shifting abilities and monstrous forms. Her main form is that of an unnaturally tall woman with white skin, long dark hair, a large black sun hat, and malicious red eyes with the black sclera. She wears a black dress adorned with dark feathers, loud black heels, and sports large claws. As Omukade, she takes on the form of a bloated centipede-like creature with crimson arms and a segmented tail. As Saigomo, she becomes a spider-like monster with a sinister mask, black lipstick, and multiple legs, her grin revealing sharp teeth. Kintōru cursed many individuals throughout history, including Kaido and his daughter Biwaki, Heihachi and her mother Futaba, and Yasu Masashige's bloodline. She manipulated and betrayed those who trusted her, turning them into her puppets. Kintōru's powers include control, manipulation, mimicry, teleportation, cursing, and immortality, among others. She was eventually defeated by Yasu, who destroyed her hearts and beheaded her, freeing her victims. Even in death, she was taken by Hakaisha, left to suffer eternally as a black larvae tied to a sakura tree. Enzukai. Enzukai slithers from the abyss of the Mimic's lore, the living embodiment of jealousy's curse, a demon born from betrayal and dripping with vengeance. Forged by the ancient ruler Hakaisha from the shattering of a single eye, each shard bled with malevolence. Alongside its siblings, Kintōru, Netamo, and Yuma, it plunged the earth into chaos during the Calamity event, only to be shackled beneath the sea by the warrior Kusunoki Masashige. Yet like jealousy itself, Enzukai's rage seethed in the darkness, impossible to contain. Its physical evolution is a nightmare parade. From crimson skin and haunting eyes in its earliest form, to the savage second stage with skeletal ribs, black tail, and a mask twisted by hate, Enzukai's metamorphosis is pure horror. At its apex, it becomes a pale serpentine dragon crowned with antlered horns, a second head, and clusters of glaring eyes like lanterns of doom. Each eye is a window to realms beyond reason, leaving no mortal, nor even the gods, safe from its gaze. In battle, Enzukai is a symphony of shrieking shadows, ripping hearts from chests, summoning tentacles of nightmares that writhe like flesh and wielding the fires of jealousy. Its soul snare drags prey into endless darkness, where even screams fade like dying stars. Worse, it thrives on psychological torment, twisting Isamu Uchiumi's guilt into despair, mocking him for Senzai's death until truth itself shatters. Worshipped by its cult, whose rituals remain cloaked in mystery, Enzukai's grip is unbreakable. At its core, Enzukai is not just a demon, it's the jealousy that festers like a rotting wound in every heart, the monster that feeds on doubt. Look away if you dare, but remember, even in the deepest shadows, Enzukai's eyes burn like dying stars, ready to drag you into the darkness you fear most. Today we talked about some of the monsters in the Mimic. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to explain why. Also, tell me which other the Mimic monsters you'd like to see next. There's no reason to stop making more videos, especially if you like this one. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. That's the best way for me to know that you want more. See you in the next video!